we'll go from there. So, I did the electronic portfolios collection in Spokane's collections, because I was trying to figure out if I could somehow create I was trying to figure out what I could do with Primo Collections, and all of the tagging stuff. So, so where's so here's the electronic journals set that I created. And if we click on run query, you can see the advanced search criteria up here that I used. So in order to combine multiple keywords into a search in the repository search, you actually have to, like, because adding the or function puts parentheses around the and lines. So if you want to use or to expand like keyword capturing of stuff, you have to repeat your ands for every single keyword. So I use the electronic titles, and then wanted to make sure that the portfolio was available, and the material type was the journal, and then basically like used pretty broad keywords on this one, but I wanted law, legal, and judicial. And I could probably even do this on law, because the repository search does support what the asterisks after 3 characters, but they don't support it for like the left side one. So let me see if I can let's see if we come up with a different. So we had 2239, and so we picked up a few more. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, so we have this set, and then I was able, because this is nope, I already said, never mind. Anyway, so we have this set, and then I was able to use it for a collection. So you can see here, and then I didn't add any thumbnails or anything to it. But yeah, so that was, I was excited that I was able to do some kind of like electronic collection work with the Primo Collections thing. However, just because you're limited to that repository search, if you're going to do a logical set, I was kind of disappointed at how difficult it was to um, create a set that was specific and like accurate, I guess is the word I'm going for. Um, I don't know, like if anyone else has played with trying to use the Primo collections with electronic titles. Do you have any experience or like possible applications um, that you think you'd like um, to do? We could take a look at your environment.
I don't know how far I got with this, but I was looking to replace a collection that I was maintaining manually that was our streaming videos that we were choosing like a la carte.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I did create like a logical set of some kind, and I don't remember if I made it into a collection or not. But I think I did like create some kind of set that was like local streaming media or something.
Well, and
But
that's another great application. Let's see. Because if so I'm assuming if you're doing them a la carte, then you're putting them in, like a particular electronic collection. So then make you could do an advanced search to choose the titles in those uh collections.
it might have, yeah, it might have been by the collection ID numbers or
Name,
something.
yeah,
I don't remember exactly. It was a while ago. But yeah, we do have them in more than one collection. So it was like not just,
local streaming video.
yeah.
Oh yeah, so you just did that it was a local electronic collection and the portfolio type was streaming video. So you've got Swank and Avon. Well, not Avon, but Alexander Street platform.
Yeah, we should have some canopy in there if I did it right.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So good. Yeah. So there's Canopy. So um yeah, because the other way that you could uh because if you were like, oh, I'm worried that it's, gonna pick up a local collection, that I don't want, or maybe the streaming video type, I think you could also do like electronic collection name. Uh, yeah, and choose, Canopy, Swank, uh, etc. as a or. Um, is 94 how many you think you should have?
Sounds about right.
Um, what's interesting is you've got 23 that are not available.
Sometimes professors want something one quarter and they don't another. So we will like renew them and not and yeah, I will just suppress them for a while and then unsuppress them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things that you could also then do with this set is add the, like is available. Because if you make a collection based on this one, then I wonder if, um, I mean, if they're suppressed, they shouldn't show up in a collection like they,
No, they don't.
so yeah, you don't have to. That's an interesting thought too, because then with that one that I made for Spokane, I added um the facet of is available, and I probably didn't have to.
Oh,
So,
yeah, you probably do want available because like they will still show up if they're not available, and that is annoying for people. But if they're suppressed, like that's a different thing. Yeah.
so you're going in though and like, because these aren't showing, dang it,
I'm generally doing both and marking them unavailable and suppressing them.
pressing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Um, yeah. Well, that's a cool way to highlight those purchased streaming video titles. Um, so yeah, thanks for sharing that application.
I think we also at one point did have collections for the different ESL reading levels. We need to recreate those also. And
Mm,
I don't think we've done that because those are tagged in a new field now, and so we need to create new sets for those.
uh, so I'm curious. So you have quite a few. Okay. So you've got okay.
Yeah, I think those are old sets that are just like itemized sets that
I
were
saw
scanned in. And we need to make some new sets that
are
like
actually logical, so that
are
you don't have
logical and
to.
yeah, based on the mark field. Like I just need to like make some indication rules for those.
This is really cool.
But we did make that field like searchable in Primo. So we like,
Oh,
yeah, we
yeah,
had them
because
index that. Yeah.
nice. So what field? I guess I could click into the record. Hey,
I want to say usually like reading levels field 521, but that also is used for like MPAA rating, and we didn't necessarily want to show that in our records. We felt kind of squicky about that. So we added like a local like 593 field.
nice. So how do you think you'll create the logical set?
Um yeah, I think if you do a set with an indication rule, it becomes itemized, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is tricky.
I'm just I'm yeah. I wonder uh,
Does 593 count as a local notes field?
I don't
It's
know.
in the 590s.
Oh, So green dot, right? See if anything comes up. Oh,
Hey.
well, look at that. And there's one of the books that was on that list.
Yeah, I might double check that by like exporting.
And combine and comparing.
Yeah, but like you could easily save that as a set and like um export those bibs and like
Mhm.
send those to like a spreadsheet and see all those fields.
Yeah, I mean, there it is.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. That's probably how I'll do it. Thanks.
As, yeah, it's always like, oh man, this is going to be like really hard. And then you're like, well, maybe this will work. And then it does. And it wasn't really hard. And you're like, let's get this small win on a Monday. Uh, um, well, cool. Um, yeah, so one of the other things that I suggested to Big Bend to kind of do when I was talking to their STEM library was to use a Primo collection to basically uh so we their location is excluded from the search scopes for the catalog. Um, but if we could take their records and put them in a Primo collection, then they could on their website link to that Primo collection and be able to show students what was available. And so I was trying to make sure that like we were making the records discoverable in order to show up in a collection, but that they were properly excluded from the search scope. Um, and I couldn't figure out the exclusion from the search scope. Even though they're a completely different library, they kept showing up. Um, so that was kind of frustrating. Um, Vaguely collection related. I don't know if anyone has any experience trying to exclude things from search scopes and not include them. Because yeah, I think I saved the work that I was doing and I can show you how, nope, I want the Alma. Show you guys how far I got and maybe you have a suggestion of how I might construct it differently. Um, because the library doesn't want their equipment searchable, which I yeah. Okay, so nope, nope, here we go. So I was going. So did I do them? Yeah, so I was trying to exclude calculators and laptops. Um, and so I did like, okay, here's the location. And I did basically like a not equals and then tried to combine. I think I just used this one even though um oh that's how yeah I didn't end up saving it. So I then tried to combine it with like an existing um search profile, and when I did a search cuz and then I did like calculator, um it's they were still showing up. So I'm like, should it, and then I also like, so I then tried to do a STEM center resource search scope, um, and tried to combine them to be like, don't include. Um, so it's got its own library. And the thing is, when, so like, so this one, so nothing should come up basically if these two are combined, was my theory. Um, I probably can't have a dash or something. Um, and then we have to put it into a view. And then you have to go to this view. And so for some reason, it's pulling in online stuff. And it's pulling in Benaudi's like calculators. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this is why I gave up on this one, I think. But um, I don't know. Anyone have any ideas?
Are there some like defaults that are coming into play?
Ooh, I don't know. Um, like um in the view, you
Maybe,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So I've got collection discovery enabled. Uh, Lid QR. Yeah, I mean, because the only think,
Like, are there some like facets that are like automatically on?
I don't think so. Um, oh, weird. And now, yes, so okay, so it did seem to, because I just changed this to not have that the exclude one on here. It's just the stem center scope, and now it's not returning anything, which is what I expected. Um, so the problem is that weird exclude one, and maybe I just can't get a search profile to function like that. Like maybe it just isn't going to work. But then why would they include like not equals is an exclusion operator? Um, so yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but because what I wanted to do was create a search scope where we could eventually make the calculator records for Bonauti, um, like unsuppress them and still not them have them show up. Um, and like it's yeah. Um, but you saw like the calculator on the last one when it was still doing what it was, the weird calculator's record for Bonauti showed up. Um, so I don't know. This was a explored for half a day and then moved on kind of project in Primo. um, so because it was only limited application, limited number of people were interested or concerned in it functioning properly, and um, it was taking a lot of time. So, um, yeah. So I think ever since Amy posted the directions on our listserv for the making a logical set into a dynamic and updating Primo collection. Uh, no one has really come back and said, oh, this isn't working for me. So if you are interested in updating any of your Primo collections using a logical set, uh, basically what she discovered was you had to create a brand new logical set. And uh, the one thing that at the time we were bummed about was that you couldn't make a logical set based on holdings. That with the latest Primo release and Alma release in February that is now live is possible. So the functionality of logical sets, what can be included in them, has improved because we were like, well, how could we do this? And we were thinking about indication rules, and it was, um, and it's not necessary anymore. So, because it used to be that you could only do the logical sets based on a title set and not a holding set. So, if you are, interested in updating your Primo collections, the instructions are on um, the listserv. And I think if we just, I always forget yeah, and there's the archives. Um, and I think, when were we talking about this? Yep. Okay. November. Here, I'll throw the link into chat if you're interested in taking a look at Amy's directions. Um, because, like I said, I think, and Elena got them working. So, um, and Melinda, you've gotten them working, I think, with no issues. But yeah, well, it was a rambly kind of Primo meeting. I had, I don't know why I was thinking we needed to talk about collections again, but I do, for our next one, want to take a look at Abby said she had found some code somewhere that allowed that would be like integrated into your customization package that would change the order of the sections in the brief results um page. And so I kind of wanted to take a look at that and see, like, because she specifically wanted to change the order, and see if she had success with that, and see if we can't do a little demonstration of how that can look, so that if you want to do your own customization of um, of that, that um, we have a recording. So anyway, and then tomorrow morning we do have um, an Alma training. It's going to be another one on publishing profiles. We did the OCLC one at the end of last year, and tomorrow I'm going to be talking about activating your Google Scholar publishing profile. So I'm looking forward to that. It's one of the ones that is not used by very many of the institutions. And so I'd like to talk about the pros and cons and what it takes to, have that like working accurately and consistently. And so that if people are interested in having that functionality and link to the open web, we can get it running for them. So, are there any other like questions or discussions that you all would like to bring up to the group today?